I began to pass out. Then my head hit the wall. Boom.
Oh no. Oh no.
We are the Dank Dads. We are back with a Saturday night baseball edition.
What just happened?
That was a proposal on the field. A streaker came out to center field with his ring up, proposing to the entire stadium. Obviously, his girl is out there, right? And security, he took his moment. he took his moment.
Did you get a little humpy hump? Was that a
No, that was a full-on Ray Lewis.
Oh, weird.
I began to pass out. Then my head hit the wall.
Wow.
But I had a friend.
Hey, shout out to that couple, because that's going to be a hell of a story forever. On how he proposed. I hope she said yes.
He ain't going to remember.
No,
Yeah, he got
he got hit
up
so hard. I don't think she gonna fucking remember. That
Damn.
was okay.
Low key though, like
Unnecessary.
yeah, fuck that security guard for making
Yeah, he was
minimum
a
wage in
buster.
Orange County to come
Buster.
fuck this dude up
Come
real
on,
quick.
man.
Like
Straight buster move, bro.
He had a
You coulda-
flashback, man.
All right, hey, homeboy, listen, man. I know.
Yeah.
I got a girl too, homeboy. Come on, get your ass up. I'm gonna grab you.
appeared non-aggressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab you. Come on, cuz.
Yeah,
Come on,
appeared
man.
non-aggressive, not even looking at him, just blasted. Right, that's wild.
He need, man, please.
But no, welcome to the baseball edition of the Dank Dads, right?
Saturday
This is
night
just
edition.
another tool on the Swiss Army knife of Dank Dads. Saturday night edition. We've had about a week and a half of baseball left. I got these cats on here so I can maybe teach them a little something, maybe one or two pieces of information. There's been a lot of changes in baseball this year. It's the first time they've really allowed
Wait a
changes.
minute, just because you know a lot about baseball, don't try to punk us on this bitch.
Well, I'm gonna punk you on this bitch. So, anyways,
You shack my button, motherfucker. You shack my button.
Anyways, back to what
Oh,
we're talking
man.
about with this baseball, right?
Okay. Go for it.
We are the Dank Dad. You can catch us on Facebook,
You hit the
YouTube.
button, then. Hit the button, 'cause I'm not. Hit the button.
He's scared. He's scared to hit the button. All right.
Please continue. I want some knowledge. Give me some knowledge.
No, but like we went live last night, right? Had a killer show, loved it. We made our condolences to Jalen Rose. It just kind of worked out that way.
We did.
But awesome show. We got the baseball show tonight. Kind of recapping the last week and a half, and we got the Man Talk boxing show on Sundays.
Tomorrow night, me and Zach get it done. And
Yes, sir.
Jason come in the room with and we got still got Ricky Rowe rolling with us too.
Yeah, and that's dope. Tuning into that episode was sick. He definitely a historian for sure. That was cool. That was cool. But here on the show, we talk a little bit about baseball.
Mhm.
And for nearly 2 decades, baseball has been getting longer with less action. Okay? It's been getting longer with less action. So now it's finally taking steps in order to get better at that. And what's a trip is they took that mentality and kind of reversed it. Now there's going to be more action in less time.
Right.
And that's wild. Just that concept. Isn't that better for the average American?
How much is it shaved off of the game
So the average game,
as of late? Because it's dope now. I like watching baseball now.
the average game last year was 3 hours and 11 minutes.
Okay.
It hasn't been under 2 hours and 50 minutes since 2003. We good?
Yeah.
All right. It hasn't been under 2 hours and 50 minutes since 2003.
Right.
The average now is 2 hours and 36 minutes. So almost 40 minutes that they've been able to
What
knock
is the
off.
shave off?
Right. And what's the
That's
most
crazy.
time that was been wasted is because of dead time, not because of playing, not because of more runs, not because of more hits.
Yeah, batters come up there checking.
None of that. Yeah. You said last week or 2 weeks ago on the first show, it was for baseball. It was like you could go to the bathroom, come back, and the guy is still adjusting
the
himself.
same dude.
Right.
So what are some of the
But-
major changes?
Well, so they added a pitch clock.
Yeah.
Okay. So now how this pitch clock works is they have 20 seconds to throw a pitch. they have 15 seconds if there's nobody on base. So the pace of play is a lot quicker. Like Kenley Jansen, closer was the Dodgers. Now he's on a different team now, but won a couple World Series. He takes the league high 27 seconds per pitch. And that might not seem like a lot, 27 seconds, but I mean, when you add it up over time with every pitcher and all of this stuff, it was over 360 pitchers had more than 15 seconds per pitch. So when you shave that part off, but then you add more offense with it, it helps. So what happens is go ahead.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
So it's a thing called like icing the pitcher, right? How does
yes and no. It works both ways because you can ice the batter too. So the batter needs to engage with the pitcher and show that he is alert with the pitcher with at least 8 seconds left on the clock.
So if he does it, what kind of penalty does the fucking pitcher get?
So if the pitcher doesn't get the ball pitched in time or become set, it's a ball.
It's a ball.
It's a ball.
I saw a guy from he was messing around.
Yeah, and so that's Hector Cortez. He's from the Yankees. He's funny with it, right? And that doesn't matter as long as you're within the 20 seconds. You can wiggle around all you want. What he's doing, he's just trying to throw people off and confuse them a little bit and just bring something different. But also, though, if the batter's not set, they get a strike. If the batter becomes set with 5 seconds left, with 5 seconds left, he gets a strike. If he becomes set with 9 seconds left, it's a pitch. So players are going to manipulate it on both ends. The batter's going to come in at the very last second, or he's going to start right at the 20 seconds ready to go, and the pitcher's going to be doing the same thing. The pitcher might throw the ball at 18 seconds, and he might throw the ball at 2 seconds, right? But what's cool, I think, about this, like even more so, is what fans are starting to incorporate with this. So I saw this pitcher at an opposing field, and they have this pitch clock in all parts of the stadium. It's part of the scoreboard.
So
it's just like
it's a new thing.
Yeah. They've been trying it in minor leagues for a couple of years now, but this is the first year that they're putting it into the major league.
Hey guys, are we all on the same page with this thing? You guys get it?
Yeah, you guys understand?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I'm good.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Okay, so
go ahead.
now what's tight though, so this pitch clock is displayed all over the stadium like shot clock, right? So all the fans can see it, right? Now what's happening is the fans are getting involved with opposing players' pitch clock, the pitchers, and fucking with them and doing a countdown, 30,000 strong.
Snell's back in before 8 on the clock. Golf's one out of play.
So you can also say the pitch clock gives something to involve the fans now.
I kind of love it, man.
I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen.
All right, let me ask you this. Is it like a shot clock, though?
Essentially.
Is the same amount of time? So if he hit that ball just now, right? He hit the ball.
So it restarts.
Foul ball.
Yep, 20 seconds starts back on the clock.
20 seconds starts all over again.
Yep, and the pitcher has to go.
Okay.
And then the batter has 8 seconds remaining. So the batter has 12 seconds after that to kind of get ready and make sure that the pitcher sees him eye to eye, essentially.
I can see why this is cutting a lot of time off the game.
But what's cool is these pitchers are now, the stadium's 10, 9, 8, 7, while this pitcher's sitting here like, okay, am I going to throw on their countdown? Or am I gonna do my own, right? It's kind of like a mind fuck, basically.
He did not look happy about it. That dude was looking like
trying to listen.
Fuck my whole mission up. Like I was really going throw in like 2 more seconds, but y'all
my brain has to go with your countdown now. I have no choice.
But listen, I don't know shit about baseball. Is that how it works?
Oh, baseball is probably one of the most mentally mind fuck of a game that you can have. Because you have to, when I was saying last show is the best ones succeed 30% of the time. So you have to have a strong mind if you're only doing 30% and being successful. So all the other guys are doing 10%. Like you can't lose your mental in that. So pitchers getting in their head often. and it's also hard to throw a ball that hard and have that much precision with it. So you got a whole nother factor of I have to pitch it with this amount of time. We got 30,000 fans counting down for me, right? So and it's definitely speeding up the game of baseball.
Speed of the entertainment is different.
Way
Like,
better. It's a good thing for baseball without
What does
a
your
doubt.
dad think about it? What is Hefe? What's the big homie think about this?
I think he's more of a purist, meaning don't change the game. It's good how it is. And I can see that argument. Like I enjoy baseball for what it is too. I get that.
Does your dad love baseball?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's
You
probably more than me.
You think we can get you and your dad's show? You and your dad doing baseball together on this microphone?
Probably could. He's a little hard-headed, so you'd have to sit here and listen to me.
No. You and your Apple phone are hard-headed.
No. Well, where do you think I get it from, man?
Bang, bang.
Let the congregation let him know about his.
We already did this.
I know.
We already did this.
We went before you go.
I was already hung out. I already hung myself, bro. I already hung myself.
I love you, brother. We're just fucking with you. I would love to see you and your dad sitting here, man, doing a podcast with some baseball, bro.
Yeah, and I thought about it. I'm sure he'd be down. It'd be pretty dope, especially going back to my roots because that's where it all started with him. Like I remember eating dinner like every single night. The Giants were either on the TV or on the radio. It didn't matter if we're driving to dinner, driving to a family's house, dinner time. That shit was on the radio or on TV. And way more than football was, way more than basketball. Football was, of course, just limited on football, right? Like there's only one day a week that the team plays. Baseball's almost every day. So as far as my dad, like the love of baseball definitely stemmed from him without a doubt. My brother played it hard.
You in the sorry team early in your age, huh?
What are you talking about?
He had Barry Bonds. He had Barry Bonds.
Yeah, I had Barry Bonds.
To the water.
Yes,
The Giants won 3 in 6 years.
Into the water, out of the park and into the water. Yes, I know. I'm just
Giants are heavily respected in the baseball.
Well, I want your dad on this show, though. Salute to the big
Yeah, no, that'd be tight.
I want it bad.
Do it.
So now what's also cool about this pitch clock thing with the pitchers is you guys know what a pickoff move is, right?
Yeah.
Anybody?
On the first base runner?
It doesn't matter. Any base, it can happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there's a runner on base and you try to get him out as a pitcher, right? Because he's leading off, he might steal. You want to hold him to that base.
Okay.
Now they can only do that, I believe, 2 times and at bat. So every time there's a new batter up, they can only step off the mound twice. So now what I saw with one of the major league stars, Ronald Acuna, who's a phenom in this league.
What's his name?
Ronald Acuna.
Okay. Yeah.
He's outfielder for
Ronald
the Braves.
Acuna Jr., huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's legit. He's actually my number one draft.
Get a rap song.
He was my number one draft pick in fantasy baseball this year.
Is he from Argentina?
I have no idea. He's of African American descent.
How you know that shit?
He's probably not from Argentina.
Don't be getting us in trouble.
You
be bullshit.
I know he's not from
Argentina. Some shit.
I know he's not from Argentina.
I do know that. American descent. I don't know, my nigga. I don't. What are you doing?
I mean, this is bringing black folks down there.
Now you're gonna make me.
He's gonna clip us
fuck
up.
my whole routine up.
Look at Ronald Acuna, good ginger.
He's probably Dominican Republic, to be honest.
Oh, now you're gonna say that instead of just winging African American shit?
Nice.
No, listen, guys, he's wrong. This guy's wrong here.
We could have just kept going.
No, we could not have kept going. Don't tell us what to do, sir. After you remember Acuna, this guy's name.
No, Ronald Acuna is definitely his name.
He's straight African American.
Venezuela.
Oh, yeah, you way the fuck off, sir. For winging that shit, yes.
Right, my bad.
I knew it was either Central or South American.
Hey, listen, and Jason set you up.
We're gonna have to restart.
Nah.
You are not starting anything.
Ho. I only guessed that because of soccer.
Actually, hold on. I'm gonna stand on this shit because isn't everybody from Africa?
Don't you do
no,
that.
hold on.
Don't you do that tonight.
Hey,
I thought people started in Africa.
He is African American. He is
Is not everybody from African American descent then, or American?
No,
not
no,
American.
hold on,
American is
hold
the
on.
wrong part of all of that.
Hold on, family. Hold on,
Well, I
family.
had a
I'm trying to
fucking-
save you, Jeff.
I had to
I'm
make
trying
up
to save
some
you, Jeff.
space.
I'm trying to save
All
you,
right.
Jeff.
All
I'm
right.
trying to save
All
you,
right.
Jeff.
My
Where
back
is
was
he
against the
from?
wall, Jason.
Where is he
You
from?
just shut
Where
up,
is he
Jeffrey.
from?
Let Jason
Where is
roast
he
you.
from, Jeff? Where is he from, Jeff?
Venezuela.
Which is where?
Boom. Boom.
Yeah.
South
America.
America. And he is of African descent. He is an African
African
American.
American.
Thank you, Jason.
There you go.
America was right.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Wow. Kick saving a beauty. I appreciate that one,
There
buddy.
you go.
I teach history, dog. I say you every time.
That's right. All right. Cool. Perfect.
Hey, I like
All right.
Yeah,
Perfect.
keep going. Keep going.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. Salute to Jason, punk ass.
Yeah. Shout out
going.
to Jason. Damn, I don't even know where I let off.
Right there at
All right. So, anyways, I saw a video of him.
right.
Let's go.
You smoke so much weed.
Fuck
No,
my
not
whole
you.
shit up.
Not you. No, we did not. Listen. We were talking about the young man.
No, I know
I
exactly
see.
where I'm at.
All right, cool.
I see.
Just recoup.
You got me. I thought you were mad at me for real. But Jason really pulled you back.
No, he helped me out big
African
time.
American descent hit it.
So I wasn't wrong. Thank you, Jason.
You got it, baby.
We wouldn't be nothing. We didn't fuck you up on your own show, sir. It's inaugural. We love you. Let's get it.
So, anyways, he took a big enough lead off of first base for the pitcher to want to do a pickoff attempt. The pitcher did it twice on him. He knew the pitcher didn't have any more. He even signaled to the dugout, "Hey, he just did two, right?" So he took a major lead off because the pitcher couldn't test him anymore.
All right, time out. Help us out with that. Please explain the pitch off. How many I get? I don't know that shit.
Well, so as a pitcher, right, you can. Or
Am I just dumb? Is it just me?
no, I don't. I'm not sure if they know
Jason,
either.
do you know how many?
Well, let's just start it this year.
All right, let's go. Okay, cool,
Before
cool.
it was unlimited.
That's what I thought.
I
Okay.
could keep you. I could throw to first base 100 times in a row.
And that's what made the
I
game
swear
so
I've seen
fucking
it.
long.
I swear I've seen it at least done at least 10 times and one like back to back to back.
Yeah, no, it happens, and that slows the shit down. And you rarely get the guy. It happens very minuscule amount of time.
Like they used to do
guy
that. What's the fast dude with the Ricky Henderson?
Yeah.
They used
Shit,
to do
Ricky
that
Henderson was
dude all the
untouchable.
time.
Oh, golly.
So now that allows stolen bases to rise and pitchers to not kind of dick around with these batters, to where more stolen bases means more action. It doesn't necessarily mean more time spent on the game. It just means more action. So players are going to start picking up on that and understanding, and basically pitchers have to use their pickoff attempts very timely and for reason, not just to slow the game down. Sometimes a pitcher might go out there and he might have already thrown a couple innings and they're waiting for another guy to warm up. So the coach says, "Hey, throw 4 pickoff attempts and let's waste 5 minutes. This guy needs about 20 more pitches." And then they'll fucking flip him out.
So wait,
sometimes it happens like that. Like they play the game of numbers long enough.
No, that was before.
Go ahead, Jason.
Go ahead, Jay.
So will this speed up of the game? Will you think that will increase the amount of injuries to pitchers?
So they question that, and through the last couple of years of study with the minor leagues, there hasn't been injuries with pitchers. It's actually declined. I don't think that any type of game is going to change the injuries of any player because you run a straight line and you pull a hamstring. Like no one's changing that regardless of how it happens, right? Like I think players are just going to be injured who are going to be injured, and that's just kind of the way it goes. There's guys in the league. There's just like there's guys in the league that never get injured in a 20-year career type thing. I think it lands on the person more than anything. But,
right.
It's what do you say? How do you feel about that stack?
As far as the rules concerned, as far as
just like let's talk about like the pitch clock in general.
So I'm kind of iffy on it because I understand speeding up the game. I really have to see how it's really going to play out. I'm more geared towards the old way from a kid and everything, really, watching, shout out to the Orioles, and shout out to the Nats because now watching.
Can't be yards.
most definitely. So I don't know. I mean, it's cool that you're able to distract the pitcher and everything. It gets the fans involved and everything, but it's a lot with it. It's a lot with it. You said that injuries actually decline. Why are they declining? What's making them decline? Because I thought that by that pitcher warming up and everything, it would that lessens the injury versus coming in cold and throwing.
Right. Well, so what's going to end up happening is coaches are going to have to warm up their pitchers sooner than what they were before. They can't rely on the dead time. They're going to have to get going on a little bit sooner, and players are going to have to switch up their routines to get warmer faster, basically.
Game up?
Huh?
Which speeds the game up, right?
Essentially, that's behind the scenes, so it's not really – they're just ready when it's their time. But, like, there's been in 21 minutes added in the last 18 years of dead time. So in the last 18 years, there's been 21 minutes of dead time in a game. So that's what they're trying to shave off, is that 20 minutes. So it's not necessarily anything with like the quality of the game or what's kind of really happening, but because essentially the same shit is still happening. It's just the quality of it is going to get better as far as more entertaining. It's for the average American sports fan, when you have less time, more entertainment is going to be far more beneficial than longer time, less entertainment. And just because
I got two questions.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So my first question is, what happens, let's say your pitcher is, something's going on, an injury may be occurring, and you need to get another one up there, in a hurry.
Injuries are safe. Injuries provide time for a new pitcher to come in. That, without a doubt, injuries like one of the things that kind of deviates from the rules.
Is that like an timeout?
Yeah, basically, like they'll cut to the TV timeout type thing, and yeah, that's something that they're willing to. They have to. They can't speed that up because they're going to look like assholes as far as like health and safety of the players. But
get that bitch off the field.
Yeah, and then throwing out somebody else out that there's cold, like that's even worse, right? But,
all right, and my second question is Japan following the same guidelines? Is Japan doing this too?
Are the who?
Japan. The folks that whooped our ass.
Sorry, are the fans?
Japan.
Oh, Japan. No. This is just Major League Baseball now. This is only in the States. I'm sure Japan has their own kind of different rules. I'm not too sure on that, but it's only in Major League Baseball that there's making these changes. I don't know all the rules in Japan.
Salute to the changes in baseball, man. You got some education, fella.
Yeah, no, but they also made the bases bigger. They added 3 inches around the entire base.
Why?
For player safety, because guys were hurting themselves too much on a smaller bag, getting stepped on, rolled over, whatever it might be. It also encourages you stealing and you taking off to the next base because you have a higher chance of getting there with a bigger bag. So it encourages more action.
All right. See what we got next.
They also allowed, they stopped the shift. And the shift is where you have third baseman, shortstop, second baseman, first base. If I'm a right-handed hitter, most right-handed hitters hit to the left side. Most left-handed hitters hit to the right side, based on bat speed and whatnot.
I'm a little smacked.
Yeah, you're lost. All right.
Yeah, go back to the third base.
So if you look at the infield, you know what the positions are.
Yeah, I get it.
So you have 2 infielders on this side.
Third base
and shortstop.
Yep.
And on this side, you have second base and first base. Right? So if a player would only hit to the left side, like that's just where his numbers always are,
right.
70% of his hits are going this way, they would bring the second base and first baseman way over here. The second baseman would be playing in the outfield. The first baseman would be playing with the second baseman. Because more times than not, he hits it that way. You put more defenders over it. Same thing with a left-handed hitter. He'd only hit to the right side a bunch of times. they'd bring the third baseman and shortstop over.
Okay.
Just based on numbers. Baseball is all about numbers and analytics, so they're playing percentages and doing math all the time. So they've stopped that though. Now it has to be even. You have to have 2 over here and 2 over on this side. So
Each
you,
side of the diamond.
yeah.
Of the,
So you
okay,
can't
yeah.
cross second base if you're a short. Either side, you can't cross over.
Oh, you
So-
can't cheat.
No, you can't. You can't do the shift anymore. So now that's going to make more. It's going to make infielders have to be more athletic,
Yeah.
like it was kind of in the '80s. This is kind of how they used to do it in the '80s.
Can I ask anything about that? Real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't be too long.
No, yeah, no, I want you to because I kind of forget about it. I just flow.
just-
I just go dark and start talking. So I need.
Yo, what you think about that, Jay? What? That's crazy now, huh?
Nah,
They
that shit's
changed the
dope.
complete. No,
shit's
but
dope.
listen, Stack's got a point now. He's got
That
a great
shit's dope.
point.
With what?
They're changing so much to the game now. That's a lot of change, bro.
It is, but it isn't. Like
But is
I
it
get-
more?
I've
Is
always-
it a change or is it more of like a cycle? Right? Because
No, this is the
like
first time in
said, the game,
history.
it's like Jeff said, it's going to be more like it was in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? As far as them like gunning it, running it. Like I
Yeah.
remember when the Mets was vicious, their outfield, them Bammers was running everywhere, dog. Like
so. Picture
all
that
fucking time.
with a shorter game.
right.
Essentially, is what they're trying to get back to. They want to kill that dead time, but like it. I've always argued for like having the shift. You should be able to do that. I think a batter should be good enough to just go to the other way that they're not standing. I've always thought that. I've always argued that. It's no different than if I want to play goal line defense or I want to play.
Well, I get it.
I want to put 4 safeties
If I
back
want to line
there.
up in the gap,
Right,
if I want to
right.
line up in the gaps.
Then you need to switch your play up and do something
Absolutely.
different. I've always agreed with that. So that's one of the things that I don't really care
That's
that they
what that
changed,
is
but
to me.
I'm always a fan for more offense though in baseball. So I can't
That's
hate
a
on
lot,
it that
a
much.
lot has changed.
Yeah, I mean, there a ton has
Nah,
changed.
I do feel that you should, but it's kind of like with football and everything else, where the offense is what brings the fans. We always talking about it, right? So they just want more bang for their buck.
And that's what
Like
it comes
that.
down to. And the what we thought the best thing for baseball was that it wasn't constricted by a clock. That's not why most people like baseball, because they're not constricted by a clock.
Right.
But it's the best thing about baseball is the team's chances to win are not constricted by a clock.
Right.
You have to give that guy a chance regardless of the score. You have to get him out. You can't sit on the shot clock. You can't run the ball 4 times and punt it. You can't or 3 times and punt it. You have to throw that ball across the plate and give that guy a chance. Have you guys ever heard of? We're going to segue off the rules, but the law has changed. I do think that it is beneficial for baseball. Shout out to baseball for actually doing this and changing. We all know that one time in the NBA there wasn't a 3-point line, right? And if there wasn't a 3-point line, we probably wouldn't know Curry. So like, you need a change.
Dunk either, huh?
Huh?
There's no dunk.
Yeah, no dunking. Like, yeah, just straight layups in an orange basket. Like, you had to adapt over time, right? You have to adapt.
Listen, I think that we are trying to halfway remember what we did in Pop Warner for a little bit, and then you know what I'm saying, like we don't know all the fucking rules. Listen, we are learning.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And I got to remember that when I start talking, because
Yeah,
I'll just
like,
go.
They find themselves in the gap and they do this run. I said, okay, all right, yo, you got it, nigga. Let's go. What it do?
I just watch the subtitles that go across the bottom when he talks.
Say what? Say.
He's saying basically he's speaking a foreign fucking language. Like
Exactly. Salute, man. Like, yo, like we just listen. Hey, you the historian right now, dog.
That shit's dope.
Let's go. I'm loving it.
hey, look,
Well,
man.
there's
Thanks to EA Sports, I understand where you at for the most part.
Hey, yes,
for real.
when they need
Hell
us,
yeah, hell
yes, you need us.
For sure.
Stop playing. You ain't got this shit in the back of your shit. This is the real shit you can have on your. Let's do this. Let's go.
So there's this pitcher that pitched in from 1968 to 1979 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. His name is Doc Ellis. He has probably one of the most craziest stories in all of sports history. Do you know what a no-hitter is?
Yeah.
What is it? Explain to me.
This is what DC girls do to their boyfriends. Okay, this is what DC chicks do to their boyfriends. She'll be like, "Do you know what such is?" She'll be like, "Yeah, I know." She'll be like, "Then what is it, sucker?" And you'll be like, "God damn!" But anyway, I'm gonna answer for you.
That was a bitch move.
No, it was not. It was not. Hey, listen. Yes, no hitters when a pitcher hits a no hitter. No hits off the pitcher.
Yeah.
When they don't score, right?
So they can score with a no hitter. Wow.
Listen to the
This shit by
keywords.
myself.
Listen to the keywords, Marcus. Listen to the keywords.
I should have done this shit to myself.
No hitter. Hitter. Hit.
This
Hit.
fucking guy.
Hit. Keyword. Hit. 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 Lord have mercy.
I love
Jeff is
You know,
not
Feels
letting
like
us
a
back
fucking
on
setup. Hold on.
Jeff is
So
not
there are
letting
other
us back
ways.
on here
There are
after
other
this,
ways to
man.
get
I-
on base than hitting.
Yeah.
Help me, go
Yeah.
for it.
Wait, you need to understand the other ways to get on base.
No, help me understand what you said. I said a no hitter is when you don't get a person
Don't get a hit.
a hit.
Yeah.
Period.
Any
Yeah.
kind of hit. But you
Okay.
can still get
But-
on base with a walk or getting hit by the pitch or
Right.
an error or
Right.
something like that. You can still
Okay.
get on base and still score. A no score, no nothing, not one person touches first base. That's a perfect game.
Yeah.
There's only been like 20 guys in the history of the MLB.
Okay.
The no hitters are still rare and they still celebrate it like it's history for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they're a little bit more frequently. So this guy, Doc Ellis, pitcher for the Pirates in 1970, he pitched a no-hitter on acid. Now, I don't know what the acid was like in 1970.
It was that real deal,
You
dog.
agreed to beat me up a minute ago. You agreed to beat
I'm not
my
beating
ass.
anybody up.
Yes, you were.
No.
And this guy's on acid. Go for it. What? A no hitter? Go for it. Hit it.
So I don't know how. Not quite there yet. I don't know what the acid is like in 1970. I remember my dad talking to me.
Fun.
Well, I remember my dad telling
Salute
me
to the acid.
about.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your dad? Go ahead with your dad.
I remember my dad telling me about the weed in 1970, and that shit was whack. So I don't know what the weed the acid 1970 was.
All right, look.
Yeah.
There's
So
a documentary, I think it's on Netflix, about this exact thing, right? And
Yeah,
he's
with Doc
describing-
Ellis?
He's describing it. He described every inning, dog. He described
Let
every
it
inning.
go first, Jay. Let it go. Let it go.
well, this little video is just going to explain it
Let
a
the video
little
play.
bit. It's not going to do too much, but the documentary probably really dives in on this shit.
Yeah, that shit is
This is
bananas.
one of the craziest. This is one of the craziest stories in baseball history. In 1970, Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Doc Ellis somehow managed to throw a no-hitter against the Padres while on acid. I kid you not. Going every fifth day, there's a bit of a layoff for starting pitchers. After a night of hard partying, Doc lost track of the day of the week. Thinking he wasn't supposed to pitch until the following day, he decided to drop acid, only to later realize he was scheduled to take the mound in 2 hours. Reflecting back on the incident, Doc made statements such as, "The ball would look gigantic in my glove one inning, and then tiny the next. And then, I thought the home plate umpire was Richard Nixon." Unsurprisingly, Doc walked 8 batters on his way to the no-no, but it's still one of the most impressive feats in baseball history.
Duh.
Is that along the lines of the documentary that you saw?
Oh yeah. I mean, he went into like crazy detail, because when he says he was pitching 2 hours later, he was talking about he was in a nightclub when he found out he was about to pitch. You know what I'm saying? He was off some old like, fuck it, for real. Like, I'm about to party. So he drive over to the fucking stadium, and he in the jump. I don't remember what inning it was, but he was like, at one point he didn't see anything. He kind of saw the catcher, but he couldn't see his hand. He was like, I was just throwing it where I thought it
This
was.
shit's gonna get down there somewhere.
Exactly. He was like, it's gonna hit something. I'm
And-
like, yeah, damn.
He walked 8 batters. I mean, that's a lot of walks to give up as a pitcher, but he still did not give up a hit. I mean, oh man, I wonder if he was noticeable to the crowd. If anybody noticed that he was tripping, if he was chasing his fucking pink elephant ball or some shit.
What the
For-
fuck would
for-
make him want to go there?
The 1970s.
He didn't know.
At all?
So he took this acid on it, thought was a day off. And after he popped it 2 hours later, he found out he was pitching instead. And in the 1970s, there was no, you get your 5 days off and relax on your ice baths all week, blah, 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 blah. It was, didn't pitch, you probably lost your job. So
Hold up. So what he was saying was he popped this bitch thinking he was sitting in the
yeah, he thought he was off.
Nah, he
already.
was at a nightclub. He was chilling.
Because
At a
he
club.
wasn't pitching the next day. And then they went to him and was like, hey, yeah, we need you to pitch today. And he was already too fucking late.
Wow.
Shit.
That's insane. I don't know any other sports story that really can compare to that level and of its own genre. Like that is its own. Like you hear players smoking weed and playing all the time, but like or drunk, I guess. Like there's some wild stories in the MLB for players drinking, but
Yeah, not no gangster shit.
smoking weed, yes, but not anything else.
What sport have you played, huh?
Football, like you're talking weed?
Yeah.
Football. I mean baseball for sure.
High school full equipment?
High school, yes.
Damn. Jason,
Not
you,
baseball, so softball.
Jake-
When I was older.
Jason, you?
Huh?
Jason, you ever play high?
Nah, doc. So like, I think I told you about this. Like, I would have my last J just before two-a-days, and then I had my whole season no smoking, and then at the last game I have a J waiting for me in my locker, like literally in my bag.
I played 2, 3, 4, 5 games high.
As soon as like
Phenomenal.
more so in my adult life, like when I get stoned and as soon as my heart starts racing, my stone goes away. Like it,
Really?
yeah, I just like sweat it out or something. I don't know.
Like I love the train high. But anyway, so back to baseball here. You just totally, this motherfucker is zoned the fuck out, not knowing.
It said one inning the baseball was huge in his glove, the next inning is small. He thought the umpire was Richard Nixon. Like, this dude's tripping, bro. And he threw a no hitter. That's pretty wild. But that also goes to show that those athletes back then, as hitters, were probably not that great because that shit's not going to fly in today's age. I don't think.
Oh, do you think? Wait a minute.
Shoot, if he was
I'll
on
smoke it
acid,
if you-
if he was on
I hit it out
acid,
the park.
I'm sure a bunch of them Bamos was on coke.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. But you're more in your head on coke than you are with acid. So, like, you're in control of your decisions far more on cocaine than acid.
Listen.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know on cocaine.
Nobody's changing to Richard Nixon on cocaine.
I don't know if you on cocaine. You want to be out there in front of people on cocaine, throwing.
You might hit that 100 miles an hour.
No. I'm telling you.
You might throw your shoulder out of its socket.
Cocaine is a really like. I want to be in my own bubble kind of drug. Cocaine is, right? But that motherfucking acid's the wild shit, bro. Acid.
I just don't know. That's wild to me. I just don't understand.
I'm into it. Salute to that motherfucker being a real gangster. Let's go. What's that? On our baseball. We're on a baseball journey. What the fuck? Salute to the Dank Dad, man. You can catch us on Instagram, YouTube. Please subscribe to the Dank Dad Baseball Podcast.
So there's not a whole lot to be surprised about as far as record wise. One surprising thing is that the Rays are in the lead. They're killing it. The Giants, when I kind of talked smack about them, I was trying to keep it real on my last baseball show, and then the next day they hit like 7 home runs in one inning. They still have a losing record, but it was an excitement. They gave me a little shaft.
No.
What they did. No, I'm still keeping it real. They're going to not be good.
Very Jimmy G-esque of you.
They're not going to be good.
Very 49er-esque of you. I don't know. Do I do this on this podcast? I don't know.
No, you shouldn't.
I don't want to be on this if this is what I can't do.
Well, I mean, I don't see the correlation at all.
No, I do.
I hate Jimmy.
You do this blind faith in your team type thing.
No, they're going to be terrible.
But they just 7 home runs.
Yeah, but one fucking fluke to talk shit to right back to me, and then they go right back to sucking.
They're
going to be terrible all year long.
Jeff just saying a broken clock is right twice a day.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's all it was. It was just a little dig right back at me after I did that show of them talking shit. They just
so you can whoop your own ass after you said what you said.
Yeah, I guess. All right, but they're right back to sucking. And they're not gonna make the playoffs.
No, I'm tripping. I am way too far out there now. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, there's no blind faith this year. It's all bad. It's all bad, and I'm just gonna keep it realistic.
For the record, we're talking about baseball.
Yeah. Thank you, Zach.
Facts.
Thank you. Oh,
Jimmy
shit.
G does not play baseball.
He does not.
No, he does not.
Get it.
That's about it with this baseball segment this week. We're gonna let baseball get a little bit more under his belt as far as games are concerned before we start talking records and seeing what is real. Because in baseball, there's 162 games, and a team can fire off 4 or 5 in a row. The teams of now have only had 8 games, so I'm not gonna kind of hold too much weight into what the records are quite yet. But I'm gonna get the ball rolling a little bit more on that.
Nationals 2-6. So
Nationals are not good, but the Orioles have a good team.
Mm-hmm.
That's still close to home over there. So
yeah, that's all we grew up on was that. That's all we had.
Orioles are my AL team. Orioles are my AL team because I grew up in Little League playing on the Orioles. That's a team that I was on for like 6-7 years straight with my dad coaching, and Orioles. That's my AL team. So, and oddly enough, they're the same colors as the Giants, so it kind of works out. But they have a really good team. They got a lot of young stars that will be stars eventually. But
I like how he segued from the Orioles and just tied the Giants right up in there. That was real smooth.
Yeah, I mean it's the same color. It's an easy segue. It just works out that way, surprisingly. But
hey, listen.
Say when you got it like that.
We have just pulled off the dopest hazing of all time.
Yeah, that was fucked up. I fucked myself up though with the Acuna thing. I just fucked myself off with that. Thank you, Jason. That was solid to come back. I feel like a whole asshole for that one.
No, we love you, Jason. Listen, we love you. And listen, we wouldn't be the Dank Dads if we didn't do this shit to you.
I'm glad that yes, Jason, you helped me. I'm glad I'm smart enough to really dive deep in. I had to dive super deep on that one.
Yo, lead us out of here.
No, yeah, we are the Dank Dads. This is our baseball segment, a little slap dick baseball segment. You can catch us next week. Don't forget to watch last night's episode, the live show. We got Sunday's Man Talk Boxing. Tune in next week for more Dank Dad Baseball edition. We are out.